JH6, welcome back to the channel. We appreciate you guys watching. So a lot of the big channels have videos, talking about how many magazines do you actually need. So I figure I jump in the wagon and I give you my idea. So with that being said, guys, let's talk about a couple of things that I think is extremely critical. And I think this is pretty much reasons why you should start stocking up on magazines. Definitely the first one is going to be self-defense to me. Now, some people will argue self-defense against the government, self-defense against criminal. Doesn't really matter, guys. To me, it's self-defense. I mean, I got to tell you guys, what happened in Baltimore is going on right now. The riots, what happened in Ferguson, we saw hundreds of people attacking places and stealing. So to me, in some type of survival situation where people run out of food, run out of water, run out of basic supplies, they will attack houses and they will try to steal your stuff. So I got to tell you guys, self-defense is definitely the key. And having multiple magazines, a good amount of them, it's going to allow you to defend yourself better against some type of threat. So definitely another reason got to be gun control. I got to tell you, there's so many different times where the government has tried to restrict the guns and they just can't in many cases. So then they start attacking magazines. So the fact that the government could restrict these magazines from being sold to the public, or even the capacity of the mags, I think it's definitely a good reason. So stock up now, get a bunch of mags, and be ready to, be prepared if something actually happens. Alright guys, so let's go and hit the table and let's continue talking about this issue. Here we are at the table, and I think one of the first things that we got to do before we start making the decision on what magazines do we need, on what magazines we're going to stock up, is that you got to identify what is going to be your primary combat gun. Now, if you have a bazillion money and you have a lot of money, this doesn't really apply to you. Talking about the basic guy, the basic working man out there. I mean, if you have a lot of money and you're rich or whatever, you could buy whatever you want. So this is not really, this is not going to be really a point to you guys. But I got to tell you guys, you need to identify what gun you're going to be using for combat, survival situation, or some type of confrontation, some type of really bad situation. I got to tell you, for example, here I got the Glock 43 with the +2 mag. I really like this gun so far for CCW, but that is not a combat gun to me. That is a concealed carry gun, so I will not be stocking up in those mags. But again, here we got the Glock 17 back here. That is actually my go-to-war pistol. That is actually my pistol that I'm going to be utilizing in some type of emergency. So I will stock up with that pistol magazines. I got to tell you guys, my wife carries a Glock 19, and that is the purpose why I did that. Here I got Glock 17 mags. I think I got a Glock 19 mag in there too, and I stuck up in Glock 17 mags because I could utilize them with my Glock 17 and with my Glock 19 as well. Now, eventually I will buy a Glock 26, and then I will have the whole package where I could use a really good concealed carry gun, and then I will have a go-to-combat gun, and I could share magazines. So again, guys, that is something that you should keep in mind. Now, here we come into the ARs. That's going to be the AR-15. So I definitely stock up on those magazines. And again, I'm planning to do the same concept with my wife, and I'm planning to start building an AR for her. But again, guys, you got to be able to identify what's going to be your combat gun, and then stock up with those magazines. Look, I got the MMP 45 back here. Excellent gun. And I got to tell you guys, don't really consider this my go-to-war pistol. I don't really consider that this gun. I mean, it could potentially be, but I don't. That's not what I have it for. But I do have it for home defense. So I do have some mags here. This one's unloaded because, again, like I said, this is my home defense pistol. And I got some extended mags as well because, again, this is my home defense pistol. So, again, guys, identify what gun you're going to be utilizing for combat, survival situation, whatever's the issue, and then start stocking up magazines to those specific to those pistols first. And then if you want to buy mags for different pistols, definitely go for it. But essentially, you need to start prepping your combat pistols, your combat rifles, before you prep anything else. Alright guys, so definitely people ask the questions, how many mags do you need? And the answer is typically easy, like, oh, as many as you can. Well, definitely as many as you can. If you could get a bazillion magazines, do it. But a lot of guys don't have the money. and they just cannot afford to have that many magazines. So definitely, as you get older and as you buy them every paycheck or every couple of months or whatever, you're gonna get more. But again, guys, I think a good starting number, which is what a lot of people are asking the questions, is anything around 8 to 15 mags. And I've got to tell you guys, when I was in combat, I carry about 8 to 15. The military actually issues you, typically they issue you 6, for your AR-15 or M4 or whatever we're going to call it. But I got to tell you guys, I felt that it was not enough. I think about 8 mags in your body is a pretty good setup. Now you have 8 magazines attached to your body. I'm talking about a rifle, probably about 6 on your pistol. And then you could possibly have a few inside the truck. So in case you find yourself in some type of firefight, then you're reloading with the magazines that you have inside the truck or inside your vehicle. So like that, you never touch your full combat load. And again, maybe you have a patrol pack, a bug out pack, whatever you call it. Maybe a few more magazines inside that pack. So again, if you find yourself dismounting from the vehicle, on foot, actually patrolling, and you find yourself again in another firefight, you can replace those magazines with the ones that you have in the backpack. And I think that's a pretty good deal, guys. I got to tell you, anything more than that, along with your food, water, clothes, and all that, is definitely going to become extremely heavy, and you just won't be able to carry. Now, we have talked about ammo, and we have talked about storing ammo. Definitely, if you want to have a bazillion magazines and you want to store them with your ammo at a specific location, that is definitely a great idea, and I would definitely recommend you to do that. Let me know what you think. How many mags do we need? What do you think is a good number? What would you recommend to people? Put it down in the comments. Always appreciate your comments, sharing, liking, advice, all that good stuff. And I gotta tell you guys, God is in control.